I think penalty kicks are brutal, but it's part of the sport. It's part of the game. It's how we have to decide games.
I'm not a big fan of PKs because I think the beauty of football is it's a team sport. You achieve things as a team that you can't achieve as an individual, and here it comes down to one individual's mistake.
Nothing is more powerful than a club whose time has come, and this is a pair of clubs who have raised the bar in MLS on and off the field. It is fitting that they represent the first ever MLS Cup between two teams who were not a part of the league's origination in 1996.
Well, John, it certainly is very cold down here on the pitch. Temperatures are around 23 degrees, but it feels a lot colder, around 10 degrees because of the wind chill.
Couldn't feel the feet at all. And I actually had gloves on before I was going to go play, and I was like, nah, I don't need them. Other guys are playing without them. And then I ran back to the bench and put gloves on because it was so cold.
When we were warming up, Brad Evans and I are juggling the ball and going back and forth. And as you're striking the ball and it's leaving your foot or your head, you see little icicles, leaving the ball in midair. And you're like, whoa. And it was really strange. We both stopped at the same time. Did you see that?
I've been in Toronto winter, so I knew it was going to be pretty cold. But right before the warm-up, they watered the field. I was told there's some MLS rules that they have to water fields to some degree. And it left like an ice sheet on the field, and the ball almost wrapped itself in ice. And every shot that was coming your way, like after every save, I would look at my gloves and there would be a layer of ice on my glove.
Big deal in both Toronto and Seattle in the lead up to this match. A life-defining moment for so many players on that field. MLS Cup 2016 between Toronto FC and the Seattle Sounders on a frigid night on the shores of Lake Ontario is underway.
I think it was a scrappy game. A lot of playoff games are going to be like that. A cup final when both teams are a little nervous, especially the first 20 minutes or whatever, it's going to be scrappy. But I think most of the game was pretty scrappy. We were on our heels for some of it for sure. Credit to Toronto, they did a great job coming at us, and at home they put the pressure on us. But I think the longer it stayed 0-0 was in our benefit, because they're at home, it puts a little bit more pressure on them.
Roldan to win the ball, played ahead, Tosin Ricketts, no one in the middle. Torres went to ground early, now the cross out to Dor! Oh, what a save by Fry! Wow!
I'm just glad I went, because sometimes in situations like that, you give up because you don't see yourself making that save. But thankfully, I was somewhat balanced, and I was able to kind of push my momentum the other way pretty quickly, and from that point on, play catch up, keep my feet moving, and somehow tip it out. I mean, we knew Josie is strong in the air, and he got up really well, and I think he probably did the right thing, go against my run where I came from, make it as difficult for me as possible.
We're going to penalties to decide MLS Cup 2016.
It's now a test of emotional control.
I mean, if you asked us at the beginning of the year or when we were struggling, if we would have taken going to PKs in the MLS final, we would have taken it in a heartbeat.
Once you set your 5 guys, it's really up to them. You give them, hey, concentrate, pick your spot, just don't change your mind at the last second. But really, the guys that we sent out there, we had plenty of confidence in.
Brad, and then you.
Number 2. You want in on these? It's up to you.
I prefer not. You're in. What number you want? Which one do you want? 3. Here's the order. Evans, Andreas, Flacco, Joven, and then Nico. Everybody understand that?
Josie's first. Michael will be second. Ben third. Will fourth. Drew, you're fifth. Okay? With confidence.
To PKs, I could hardly watch them.
It's not a crapshoot. It's not a coin toss. There is an art to control your body and mind in this moment. First of all, there's no pressure on the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers can only be heroes. All the pressure will be on these possibly 10 players who walk up to take a penalty. Josie Altidore, 15 goals in 19 games since returning from a hamstring injury in July. The first player in league history to score goals in 5 consecutive playoff games in 1 postseason. And he will step up first. Big sigh of relief. Put his whole body into that one.
No fidgeting, no looking around, just very focused on the ball. I picked my side before, and as I set the ball down, I looked right and I looked left, just to kind of let the keeper know that I'm not really potentially into just going one way. I've only gone the other way a couple times, and it's worked out, but it was more subconscious than me actually trying to go the other way. So I take my typical run up, take a breath, and he moves on maybe I had 1 step left, 1 good stride left. He moves to his right, luckily, and so I just slotted bottom right and stuck with my side, put it in the corner with some pace, and a great feeling, great feeling.
And the captain now, trying to keep Toronto going. Saved! Well, it just might be Stefan Fry's cup. Trying to get Toronto back on the front foot. And just beyond the outstretched fingertips of Fry. Lynn Irwin, can he come up with a big moment to level things for Toronto? And that's a big moment. Will Johnson, who had to watch from the sideline 2 MLS Cups, he was a winner in it. What a season he's had, needs to make this to keep things on level terms. MLS Cup winner on this field in 2010. Can he put Toronto on the verge? And the newcomer of the year needs to make this. If he misses, if Irwin saves, Toronto wins MLS Cup. He'll be taking this in the 6th round as we begin sudden death rounds. Off the bar, and Seattle now a kick away from winning it.
And then Ramon, out of all people, a center back, In fact, the practice the day before, we were playing small-sided games and someone got fouled, and he was like, I'm taking the PK, and he actually ended up missing it.
Ramon Torres, what a beast he's been tonight. And now an opportunity with his foot to win MLS Cup for Seattle, which he has done. The Seattle Sounders have done it. MLS Cup winners in 2016.
it's crazy for me growing up in that town and just getting to watch this team for so long and to be a part of the first team to lift that trophy was crazy.
If you would have told me that we would have been in this position midway when we found ourselves second from bottom, I would have said no way. Could we have snuck into the playoffs? Maybe.
Runs like this and be part of great groups like the group I'm part of today. These are few and far between, and you have to value these moments. As you get older, you start realizing how hard it actually is to get to this place. You know, a final, let alone actually win it.
We're all blessed to be able to do for a living what we love to do, play soccer, and that's great. That should be enough as it is. But some people are lucky and they get presented with huge opportunities like these, and I feel honored that I had this opportunity, especially with my teammates, with the struggles we've gone through. So yeah, it's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
We are live from Wintry, Toronto for an MLS Cup rematch as the Seattle Sounders look to defend their cup against Toronto FC. One year ago, these two clubs clashed in dramatic fashion. After an intense 120 minutes dominated by Toronto, it was Seattle who took home their first cup on a penalty kick by Ramon Torres.
For me, revenge wasn't the word. Redemption was a better one. After losing the final the way we did last year, we spent every single day this season working and thinking about this idea of getting back to a final and giving ourselves another chance in front of our fans to lift that trophy.
I have nothing but respect for the Seattle Sounders organization and their team, but the MLS Cup this year was all about us, and I don't think it mattered who you lined up on the other side of us in that match. We weren't going to let anybody stop us.
So this conversation that this is the best team in MLS history, we shouldn't even be having it because they haven't finished the job. They have to win the day. They have to complete what they have done throughout the course of the season, but it's all worthless unless you finish it today. The fact is, there's a level of expectation for this club. At some point in this game, that level of expectation is going to go from motivation to pressure. They have to be able to handle that pressure. The fans are going to push them, but they have to stay disciplined. If they go chasing Seattle, they may get into trouble.
This was even bigger than last year in a lot of ways, because we grew as a team, won the Supporters Shield, we won 2 championships, so the opportunity to kind of finish off the treble was something you don't get every day.
A date with destiny. The red and the rave green. Is it going to be redemption, or is it going to be a repeat in the rematch as we are underway? MLS Cup number 22. Michael Bradley opening things up with a ball towards Altidore. Lovely layoff, and Osorio! First big save of the game required from Stefan Fry. Oh, what a ball that is! And Javinko in the clear here. Can he finish? Stefan Fry did enough. He got a touch. Marshall was right there too.
Yeah, but what is Chad Marshall doing? He cannot let that ball run free.
After about the first 10 or 15 minutes on the field, the way we were playing, I thought there was only going to be one team to win it, and that was going to be us. That was going to be Toronto FC. We felt so good on the night. We were moving the ball so well, and I could just see the look on their faces that they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to counter us.
Good build up this by Toronto. Giovinco from Altidore. Giovinco! Well, Stefan Fry had to adjust. That was a shot that seemed to change its mind in mid-air from Giovinco. Across the line it goes. The shot is off for Delgado. And well, I've seen that picture before.
What is it about this goal and Stefan Fry?
Yes. Now shout, not pass, seems to be his motto.
There was definitely moments of deja vu, of thinking to yourself like, come on, this can't be happening again.
And you know, it gets to the point where I think in the first half we got to a point where we were shooting so many times we got discouraged a little bit. And then I think the halftime came at a good point because we couldn't score. And I think you look around and I don't think anybody was frustrated, but in the sense where, man, we just can't get it to go. Not even like, man, this is next year is gonna happen. Not even that. It was more of like, man, it's gonna be a lot harder than we thought. You know, we can't get it to go. And so the second half comes along, and we're missing chances or whatever, but everybody's thinking of the next one. And that's when I knew that regardless of the saves that Stefan keeps making, or you know, how it's just not happening for us, I knew the game was going to open up. I knew we were going to get the first goal.
The experience of having been there before, of having played in a final that had been teetering on the edge like that was a big advantage.
Josie Altidore! Finally! It's what they've been waiting for! Toronto take control!
Josie Altidore has been spot on in 10 games. 7 goals, 4 assists, but a goal that every single person here in Toronto will remember for the rest of their lives.
It's funny because I remember when Josie was in on goal, when I saw him on a breakaway, what was going through my head was how quickly we got the ball to that side of the field. And not a lot of people have talked about the fact that I think I counted it out. It was about 10 total touches between 7 different players.
Drew scooped up the loose ball, shoved it to me. I was able to shove it to Justin. Justin played it, I believe, first time forward to Victor, and then Victor found Seba, and you know, Josie did a great job to kind of curl his run a little bit and stay on side, and the pass from Seba was perfect. And you know, as Josie's running it on goal, you're just thinking to yourself, please let this be the one that hits the back of the net.
You know, that goal is so funny on so many levels because it is everything of who we are. Just from the goal, from to touch on Drew's point, from the sequence itself. Greg always emphasizes playing forward. Every training session we do, it's 3 touch max, so it's 2 touches basically, and you have to play forward, and especially towards the end of the year. So that goal is beautiful because I'm sure Greg and the coach were happy because it was all what they wanted: playing forward, playing across the game channel, and making runs in behind. So I think they were really happy about that. And then I committed early to what I wanted to do. I got the ball in the breakaway, and I know Ramon was coming. I know Jovan was coming on my right, and I said, Jovan's fast, so I can't I think he'll catch me if I keep trying to go to my right and try to shoot this to my right. So I said, I'm going to try to set up a dink here, you know, because it's going to be on my left. You know, obviously it's going to be a little bit less accurate, but I know he's going to try to make himself big and go to ground. And that's what I did. I tried to set it up by taking the touch to my left and just trying to dink it over. I know if I got it over him, that the whole goal was gaping, and that was that.
Honestly, when Armando dribbled the keeper, I didn't realize that the volley was coming to me, because I think, okay, now we scored 2-0 and then it's done. But then it was to the post, and then the rebound, it was straight on my body. I even touched, I think, with this and this, but I put all my body in front because I was really close to the goal, and then I scored. And the feeling is like, wow, we did it. It's 2-0, it's minute 93, 94, it's done. We are happy. I showed my shirt because we were making jokes at home with my wife, with my friends, that if I score a goal at the end of the game, I will show my shirt like, here, I'm back, you know, I'm Victor Vázquez, I'm back.
This could finish it here. They have numbers forward in abundance. Should they choose to go towards goal, which they do, it's Cooper, round he goes! Oh, it's back off the post and then in! That will do it! Bedlam at BMO Fields!
February 2009, Victor Vázquez had a serious knee injury, 14 months of grueling rehab. He was considering retirement, but it was Barcelona greats, the Luis Enrique, Pep Guardiola, that said, no sir, don't give it up. On his right forearm, Adrian, he's got tattooed, only the strongest survive. When the book is written about the greatest season in MLS history, Victor Vázquez will have his own chapter.
It's the best feeling that a player can have, to score in a final, to close the game and win the MLS Cup.
Oh, Canada, no more! One step beyond for Toronto as they crown the best season in MLS history. Last year, they came up empty. This year, their cup is overflowing. They complete a remarkable domestic treble with the one that really mattered. MLS Cup is Toronto's for the first time.
What I have taken away from it is you remember the guys that you do it with and their faces and the moments that you have in that time after the final whistle, and the coaching staff and the organization, and just how much you go through together in a season. For it to all culminate in a championship after a magical season is, there are no words.
To play in MLS your whole career and to go so many years without winning and be on good teams that haven't won, and to be on Supporters Shield winning teams that haven't won, you realize how hard it is to finally get to the end line and reach the goal, the one that you've achieved, the one that you've wanted to achieve for such a long time. It's so fulfilling.
And to winning for those guys you just mentioned, Justin Morrow, who's been in the league so long, Stephen Beitashour, Drew Moore, you know, he gave up a lot to come to Toronto. He picked us. And so I'm happy to give those guys everything they wanted, man. They came to Toronto to win, to do something special, and they did exactly that.
That a group of guys lived one of the worst moments of our careers together and used that pain and heartbreak to drive us on every single day for the next year or for the next 364 days. We laid everything we had out there, and when you have a group that's able to commit to something in the way that we did, to commit to each other, and fulfill a dream, to satisfy an obsession that had been there for a year. That's an incredible feeling.